If I were to tell you that some of Hollywood's biggest stars turned down some of the biggest roles of our generation, but gave room to other actors and actresses who weren't necessarily the first choice for this role to transcend into the world of Hollywood. One of the most famous ones is Matt Damon rejecting the role of Jake Sully in the Avatar franchise. Damon was James Cameron, the director of Avatar's #1 pick to play Jake Sully. In an interview back in 2023, Matt went in detail to say that he had to finish what he started with the Bourne franchise, and that's why he couldn't leave to do Avatar. He regrets it because Avatar was one of the most iconic movies of the 21st century. I mean, the 3D technology that they use, the immersive interaction that you see when watching this movie for the very first time was what made this movie such a global phenomenon. Harrison Ford almost didn't play Indiana Jones, as the original pick was actually supposed to be Tom Selleck. Tom couldn't commit to this character because of work conflicts with Magnum PI and the amount of success he was having at that time. So Harrison Ford made such a great job playing Indiana Jones that they made this into an entire franchise. Travolta was originally supposed to play Forrest Gump, but the character didn't really speak to him, and the role ended up going to Tom Hanks, who did a phenomenal job. Travolta admits it was one of his biggest mistakes of his career. Hugh Jackman could have been James Bond. Turned down the role to play James Bond in Casino Royale because around that same time he was offered the role of X-Men Wolverine, which of course we all know where that led him. George Lucas, the creator of Star Wars, offered Leo DiCaprio the role of Anakin Skywalker, but Leo decided to not take the role as he didn't feel ready to make this type of movie, so the role went to Hayden Christensen, who poured his heart and soul into this iconic character that is so beloved. Julia Roberts was offered to play the role in The Blind Side as Leah Ann Tui, the mother of Michael, based on a true story about how a young boy, abandoned and drifted by his family, was taken in by a family and turned him into a professional NFL player. Will Smith slapped away the role of Neo in The Matrix, as he was the first choice to play Neo, but ended up going to Keanu Reeves because Will Smith said he just didn't think he would give it enough respect and justice to the character, given that he just quite frankly didn't understand the entire point of the narrative of this story, and he just thought someone else would be a much better pick. Jodie Foster was not the first choice, but she ended up being in The Silence of the Lambs, an award-winning film. Michelle Pfeiffer, who's known for so many roles, was originally given this part, but ended up not taking it due to the fact that she thought this movie was just a little too dark and gorish for her taste. Jack Nicholson declined the role of The Godfather Part 2, which ended up going to Al Pacino, because he believed that this role was meant for an Italian actor, therefore should have been played by an Italian actor. Steve Carell, playing Michael Scott in the iconic US version of The Office, was actually supposed to go to Paul Giamatti. He declined the role as he said that he was going on this massive wave of success doing films at that time when The Office was about to shoot, and the role ended up going to Steve Carell. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below.